What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of the Debate Mates. I am Matthew, and I am joined once again by the OG debate mate, Nathan Poplin.
What's up, guys?
Thank you guys for checking out the new video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let's defeat the algorithm, get those views up, get some more subscribers. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Nate, first, make sure to follow us on Instagram, see our OMG awards, our daily best player awards. We actually had a pretty big name NBA player check out our story recently. So to get a hint of who it is, check out our Instagram page. Then you might be able to figure out who it was. If you want to see best player from every night, check out our Instagram. We don't really use our Twitter, but maybe if we get more followers, we will. So follow us on Twitter too. And now I think we can finally get into the video with some sad breaking news out of Denver, which is Jamal Murray tore his left ACL in a game against the Warriors. Nate, what does this mean for the Nuggets going forward?
I think it really sucks to see one of the NBA's best young players go down like this. As for the Nuggets, this is, I think, no shock to anybody. I think any genuine NBA fan knows just how sad this is for Denver. Denver has been looking incredible with the addition of Aaron Gordon along with Jokic and Murray, and I think they had real push to make a finals appearance. I personally thought I could have seen them in the Western Conference Finals, even winning and going on to the finals. Losing your star backcourt player, even though you have Facundo, my man's, he's great. He's great, but him and Will Barton are just not going to cut it. So I think this seriously affects their playoff chances. Sure, you have Jokic and Aaron Gordon, but you really need that star guard. Jamal Murray did so many things well. He could get you 25 to 50 a night. I mean, he defends pretty solid. He's 6'3", 6'4", so he's got decent frame, decent defense. I just think this is a huge blow for their playoff chances, and I no longer see them maybe in the finals. What do you feel? I feel like this is just heartbreaking for Denver Nuggets fans across the globe.
So I have a quick trivia question for you first, related to
Oh, wow.
ACL tears.
Oh, good.
So since August, like you know, most NBA fans know, injuries have seemed to be up this year, up recently.
Oh, yeah.
ACL tears is one of them. So Nate, between August, the bubble time, and now, how many players do you think have partially torn an ACL?
Oh, my God. Ooh, that's interesting because I mean, I have a number, but I'm going to go with – so you have an actual number.
I do. I know
Like
that.
I'm going to say
Or this is
28.
like rotation players. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
rotation. Okay. Let's go that's a lot, though. Let's go like 24.
Okay, you're really high. So this is actually going to make
Oh,
my number
okay.
sound pretty nice.
Okay, good. Because I was scared you're going to be like, no, it's like double that. And I'm going to be
It's
like,
5.
oh,
Spencer Dinwiddie, partially torn ACL. Jonathan Isaac last year not last year, but in the bubble. Well, I guess it was last year technically. That's 2. Thomas Bryant, Washington Wizards. Jamal Murray tore his ACL, and Klay Thompson tore his ACL. 5 guys.
wow. See, that's a lot lower than I thought. But hey, that's good to me. It's sad that injuries are up in general, but that's like the most debilitating injury in sports. Not even just football, like not even just basketball, like football and such. So that's really good to hear that it's only been 5. I wish it wasn't even 5, but
Oh, and actually, one more I forgot about. I think I replaced Klay Thompson because Klay Thompson tore his Achilles. I meant to say Markelle Fultz was the 5th player
Okay.
who tore an ACL this season. He tore his ACL earlier in the
Markelle
year.
can't catch a break.
The year. So yeah, Klay tore his ACL in the finals a couple years ago. Now tore his Achilles in the offseason. But nonetheless, a lot of injuries, a lot of bad injuries too, like keeping these guys out for extended periods.
Top stars are getting injured. I mean, think about it. LeBron and AD are still out right now. Injuries have plagued this season. So, but yeah, they seem to be more occurring these last couple seasons, and I really don't know why it just happens. I guess there really is no rhyme or reason for it. Injuries just happen.
And this season has had really a theme to it. Who can last the longest? I mean, Nikola Jokic is looking like MVP by default. I mean, his numbers are great, but Embiid has been out. Giannis has been in and out of the lineup recently with a knee injury. Steph Curry in the tailbone injury. Kevin Durant, COVID-19, missing a bunch of games, and then the hamstring. LeBron missing games with the ankle. So, and now with like contending teams, Lakers are all injured. LeBron and Anthony Davis are out.
Yeah, they've
Jamal
dropped down
Murray,
to the 5 seed, which is
James Harden is out right now. Who knows what's going on with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? They get injured all the time. So what team can just outlast the injuries? What team can outrun the injuries? Because it looks like they're coming for whatever reason. Injuries are just up this year. And
yeah, it's basically the team that's going to win it all is the team that kept their original squad in one piece. That
yeah,
man, they got lucky enough to keep all their stars, or if their stars did get injured, it wasn't severe enough that they were out for a couple weeks and still make it. You
Clippers
want
and
me to
76ers are looking really good right now. They haven't had too many major injuries, not too many COVID concerns either.
mhm.
As a finals matchup between those two teams isn't out of the picture. But back to the Nuggets. Uh, this is going to be really interesting to see how they finish the year because it looked like they were going to come for a top 3 seed. They,
Mhm.
aside from one quarter against the Boston Celtics, in which they got outscored, I think 31-8, 31-3.
I think it was 40-8.
Whatever it was horrible. But nonetheless, aside from one quarter, this team with Aaron Gordon has been perfect. No
Mhm.
losses except for that one loss last night against the Warriors. Curry had 53. Past Wilt Chamberlain, all-time Warriors scoring record. So you kind of give them that one. Warriors are a good, hungry team.
Mhm.
But aside from a little stretch of time, they've been perfect. They looked like a team that could make the finals, give the Lakers a run for their money. Aaron Gordon fits really well with them. Great athletic piece, like a second coming of Draymond Green almost in that lineup. But now you're just missing that scoring punch. Who else is going to fill
Mhm.
that void? Gordon is not never proven to be a any more than maybe 15 or 16 a night type of guy.
Mhm.
Will Barton is streaky. He could
Yeah.
give you 20, but he could also give you 10 on like
So is Michael Porter Jr., who's one of their young stars too. And I mean, Jokic is already carrying a good chunk of the load offensively. I don't think there is anybody, honestly, that can step in and just. You can't replace Jamal Murray on this team. Like Will Barton is not going to step up and replace Jamal Murray. Facundo and Monte Morris are not going to step up and replace Jamal Murray. So I think honestly, the only way I could see them keeping what they have is if like every other person picks up slack. Like they don't have a single person that could pick up that slack. So I think all the rest of the team needs to step up their game if they even think they have a shot at still a finals appearance per se. Gordon really was that missing piece, and he made them complete because the Nuggets every year are always top team looking for a finals appearance or Western Conference Finals appearance. And but yeah, if they could have lost Porter Jr., they could have lost Barton, but they couldn't have afford to lose Jamal Murray like this. So I think basically their chances at an NBA championship have dwindled dramatically.
yeah. And moving on, last Saturday in our Saturday primetime game, Irving versus Schroeder, as ESPN advertised it. The Nets and the Lakers faced off. Lakers killed the Nets. Nets were without Kyrie Irving for the entire second half, were without James Harden, had Kevin Durant on minutes restriction after his second game back. Lakers were without LeBron, were without Kuzma, were without AD, and were without Dennis Schroeder in the second half. But NBA Twitter is going to be NBA Twitter, and they're going to say that this game means Lakers in 4, Lakers in 5, whatever. Nets aren't even going to make it to the finals. So, Nate, are you one of those NBA Twitter people that thinks that that game decided the NBA championship, or do you think fans are overreacting a little bit to this game?
Well, most NBA fans are going to overreact. I am not one of these Twitter folk that think that this game means that the Lakers are going to crush the Nets. Like that's absolutely not true. I'm a big believer in anybody can get beaten anytime, anywhere, any place. And all sports. It just because you're the first in the AC doesn't mean the AC can't pull it. It's unlikely, but you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, you overreact. One game without any of their stars, Kuzma, LeBron, AD, Kyrie, KD, Harden. I mean, like this game really, it's a regular season game. It really doesn't determine what's going to happen in the playoffs. I mean, for all we know, the Nets could come in and crush the Lakers in a 4-game series. You know what I mean? In the finals, like that's possible, but I don't think that will be the case. Most likely, that won't be the case. These teams are very good when healthy. So no, I don't think this means that the Lakers are automatic dubs for the championship or automatic dubs if they see the Nets. So that's just not the case. It's just not realistic. You can't over one game. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if the Nets had won this game, no one would have said anything. It's really just the LeBron fans, the Lakers fans. Because Jack was on here last video. He said Jason Tatum has the most annoying fan base. Shout out to Stretch, and I'm sorry, man, but the Lakers and LeBron by far have the most annoying fan base in the NBA. They will say anything. They have no filter, and it always is negative. Like they will tear a team down just because they hit a 3-pointer. They will tear a guy down because he celebrated after a dunk. You're not LeBron James, or your team's still losing. Like,
Yeah.
first comment, Kevin Durant had a great dunk on Andre Drummond, his second game back after a hamstring injury. And the first comment is like, well, team's losing by 90 points. It's like, come on. Get out of your feelings.
Like I get coming to his aid, but you're being a little over dramatic and a bit ignorant here. The only reason Jack said that is because Boston fans tend to be a very passionate, let's say that, very passionate fan base when it comes to, I mean, this is a team that if you're similar to how Philly fans are, if you have one bad game, they're already calling for your head. But and the fact that they do that, and still the Lakers and LeBron fans are still the most insufferable fan base in the world, these bandwagoners or these just straight LeBron fans, it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I will never understand. I'll never be that kind of basketball fan that says these awful things or jumps to conclusions during a regular season game. Like, come on now.
I'm not even convinced either of these teams make it to the finals. I think
I could see Nets losing to Philly.
Philly is going to be a tough out for anybody. Joel Embiid has just proven to be a matchup nightmare for any team. No team really has
MVP basketball. And I mean, you added shooters and Danny Green, and Seth Curry. I mean, you fixed the one problem you didn't have last year, which you had like no outside perimeter shooting. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And also, let's not forget over there in the West, Lakers, Utah, Suns have been having a phenomenal season.
I'm a really big fan of the Clippers this year. I think Rondo was a really good addition.
A huge addition, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised we see a Sixers-Clippers finals. I mean, the slightest.
Nets, I don't think they have to pray for a Heat 76ers matchup, but they should really be hoping for a Heat 76ers matchup, because that is the team that has the best chance, aside from the Nets, of giving the 76ers a scare. I still think the Nets are probably my favorites in the Eastern Conference just because they can out-talent everybody. Mm-hmm. And because I do remember how great Kevin Durant has a tendency to play in the playoffs. He turns into a very dominant player in the playoffs these last couple of years at least. Mm-hmm. Lakers I'm not as convinced about because with the Nets injuries throughout the year, they've kind of all seemed like minor, let's give them rest type of injuries. Like Kevin Durant's hamstring probably did not need to take 25 games or 18 games, however many he missed.
I'm also not sold on the Nets simply because Kyrie – I think Stephen A. Smith was talking about it. Kyrie is just missing games for personal reasons. And then he gets into a game and he gets into a fist fight or gets into a fight with Dennis Schroeder and then gets ejected. You know what I mean? Like, he's just missing too many games and he doesn't seem like reliable. I don't know if he will be reliable for the playoffs, to be completely honest with you.
I think come playoff time, they'll all be locked in because they'll know what happens if they are a first, second, or conference finals at what's the word I'm looking for? I'm
just as clueless as you, my man.
I don't know that. I'm gonna.
I hope so. I really hope that's the case. I really hope Kyrie cleans up his act and plays some good. Because Kyrie Irving is one of the most exciting players to see in postseason basketball. I think we learned that back in 2016. So hopefully he gets his stuff together because I want to see some good basketball. I don't want clean sweeps. I want to see some 6 and 7 game series. I want to see some hard fought basketball. That's what the postseason's about. Earning your right to call yourself a champion. So I want exciting basketball. I don't want all this. I would hate if all the stars are gone. You know what I mean? It's just like Kyrie, please get your stuff together. Playoffs are almost here, my man. I want to see some good basketball in the East.
Yeah. I think we can just about call it there. That's all the topics for today's episode of the Debate Mates. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time.
Bye, guys.